Banerjee and the TMC for the upcoming state elections. Police intensify probe in Delhi demolition war. Samajwadi Party MP who was part of the mob to be summoned soon. Over 30 rioters identified. Prime Minister Modi announces commencement of Somnath Swabhiman Parv 4-day festival from 8th to 11th January. Hails temple, says temple survival over past 1,000 years reflects country's indomitable civilizational spirit. US President Donald Trump greenlights Russia's sanctions bill proposing 500% tariffs, targets India, China, Brazil. Former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina speaks exclusively to NDTV, says Dhaka's bid to link Hadi's killing with India's deliberate and baseless, driven by fundamentalist forces trying to mask the Yunus government's failures as foreign conspiracies. But we start with breaking news coming in from the state of West Bengal, where the Enforcement Directorate is raiding IPAC co-founders' premises. The Enforcement Directorate is raiding the house of Pratik Jain along with some other locations, is what we're being told at this point. Amid the raids, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee arrived at the residence of the Indian Political Action Committee co-founder Pratik Jain, where the Enforcement Directorate teams were present. The searches, of course, have triggered a sharp political reaction from the Trinamool Congress. Mamata Banerjee has also spoken on the incident.
Is it the duty of the ED and Amit Shah, the nasty Home Minister, the naughty Home Minister, who cannot protect the country, and is taking away all my party documents? If I get the BJP party office, what will be? What will be the result? They didn't have any guards. One side the SIR case, they're deleting all the names of the Bengal people. More than 2 crore people, 1.5 crore people are being called, 54 lakhs are being deleted without any asking their details. They are using WhatsApp only, and because of election they are collecting all my information of my party. देखो मैंने सब लेके आया, because I rang up Pratik, because he is the in charge of my party.
देखिए ईडी ने रेड किया है तो इसमें हम लोग का बोलने का कुछ विषय नहीं है, और जहाँ पर भाईपो है वहाँ तो दुर्नीति हो गई। आज आईपैक का काम भाईपो देखते हैं, हमारे राज्य के राजपुत्र देखते हैं। आज कोयला चोरी, बालू चोरी, पेड़ चोरी, जमीन चोरी, पानी चोरी, हर किस्म का चोरी इस राज्य में होता है, ये टीएमसी का नेतृत्व में। और आईपैक जो टीएमसी के लिए काम करते हैं, जो एजेंसी, वो किस किस तरह का चोरी करते हैं, किस किस तरह का घोटाला किया है, ये ईडी ने आया है। इसमें हमारा बोलने का कोई विषय नहीं है, लेकिन हम लोग यही चाहते हैं कि जो चोरी हो इसका समाधान हो।
Shrishi joining me live from Kolkata on that big story. Shrishi, what are the raids in relation to? Firstly, and we do know that IPAC's co-founder is working closely with Abhishek Banerjee in the run-up to the state elections. Just take us through the latest and the questions I have for you.
Well, the raids, the ED has not given any official statement regarding what the case pertains to. But of course, if it's the Enforcement Directorate, then they're looking at the money laundering angle. At the PMLA Act is what they investigate. What we have picked up from the sources, this could be linked to the coal pilferage scam that is both under the ED as well as the CBI investigation here in West Bengal. While an official statement from the ED is awaited regarding these search operations being conducted, ED officials from New Delhi are conducting these operations across Kolkata. There is a team that is at the IPAC office in Kolkata Sector 5 IT hub, and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is present on the 11th floor where the IPAC office is located. This office was in fact inaugurated in 2021 when Prashant Kishore was handling the affairs of the IPAC, a political consultancy that the Trinamool Congress had roped in during the 2021 Vidhan Sabha elections and had extended that treaty with them for the 2026 polls. In fact, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee a short while ago had arrived at the co-founder and director Prateek Jain's residence, where the ED is also conducting search with the presence of the central security personnel there. The Chief Minister came out holding a green folder, a laptop and a cell phone in her hand, and claimed that she has retrieved data of her party which was with Prateek Jain, and this is being done at the behest of the Home Minister to get more details of the candidates of the Trinamool Congress for the upcoming elections. Now Prateek Jain is seen closely to be working with the Abhishek Banerjee lobby as well as Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. IPAC has been assisting the Trinamool Congress since 2021, be it for the schemes, be it for the political programs that are undertaken not just by the government here but also here by the political party. Programs such as Duare Sarkar, programs such as the new campaign that Abhishek Banerjee has launched, Abar Jeet Be Bangla,
Yes.
are all being assisted by the IPAC. Now, the ED raids hold significance ahead of the elections here in West Bengal, and with Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee visiting both Prateek Jain's residence and the IPAC office, also goes on to highlight the seriousness of these investigations and the fact that the Chief Minister of the state has arrived at a place where ED raids are being conducted holds significance. Of course, we are getting you all these details from the ground. Chief Minister is currently at the IPAC office. She's likely to come down and speak to the media which is present there at the IPAC office. ED conducting multiple searches in Kolkata with regards to a money laundering investigation at the IPAC office and its co-founder and director Prateek Jain's residence.
All right, Shirshi, thanks for joining us live. A quick recap for our viewers. Mamata Banerjee is, or rather was, at Prateek Jain's residence where the ED raids are taking place, and she has shown a full support by landing up there and has taken on Home Minister Amit Shah in that reaction that we just brought to you. There's more breaking news coming in. Big news coming in. There's an ad spend controversy in the state of Karnataka that has emerged. We're being told that the Karnataka government spent money on National Herald ads. 62% of Karnataka's ad spend was on National Herald in the year 2024 to 2025. And 99 lakh rupees was given to Herald again in the year 2024 to 25. Herald got 1.9 crore rupees from the Karnataka government in the preceding year of 2023 to 2024. That's the latest that we have for you. This, of course, will be a huge controversy in the state, with the BJP taking on the Congress shortly on this story. The ad spend controversy is going to emerge as a huge political flashpoint between the two parties after details have emerged. A quick recap of those details. The Karnataka government spent money on National Herald ads in the year 2024 to 25. It was 62% of money of the Karnataka ad revenue that was spent on a National Herald, and 99 lakh rupees given to Herald in the year 2024-25. Herald got 1.9 crores from Karnataka government in the year 2023 to 2024. Huge findings there that we're bringing to you here on NDTV 24/7. Many questions to be asked of the Karnataka government, of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, as well as his cabinet, on why there's been such a huge expenditure from their ads bag on National Herald, not only in the year 2024 to 25, but even from 2023 to 2024. 99 lakh rupees given to National Herald in 2024 to 25. Meanwhile, 1.9 crore rupees from the Karnataka government handed out to National Herald in the years 2023 to 2024. Deepak Bopanna joins me live on this story. Deepak, I've just taken our viewers through all the details that you have shared with us on the expenditure, the spending on National Herald from 2023 to 2024 to 2025. Just bring us the details you can share with us on this story. This is, of course, going to turn into a huge political flashpoint.
Well, definitely, and in the past as well, the BJP has raised this, and we've seen, last year, Union ministers, Anurag Thakur and several others who've, said that Congress really doesn't give donations to the National Herald anymore, and instead what they do is use their own state governments wherever they are in the country to funnel money through advertisements into National Herald. And now the latest details from Karnataka shows that a lot of money has been given, and this is again through the form of advertisements to National Herald. Now, BJP definitely, of course, has raised this in the past and is definitely going to raise this once again. That now here is an organization that's under the scanner. There are cases pending. There are multiple questions that have been raised, and more importantly, when the trustees themselves are from the Congress party or the Gandhi family, why is money being routed through advertisements? And more importantly, when the state government gives advertisements, this is funds that come in from the exchequer. That means that the citizens, of course, fund it. So is this the rightful way actually to use it? Now, advertisements, of course, are given to national newspapers, and here the data, of course, shows that about 60% of the funds allocated to different national newspapers, most of it has gone to the National Herald itself. So 100% you're going to have the BJP take pot shots once again at the Congress party. How the Congress party looks to defend itself is something that remains to be seen.
All right, and we will keep a track on the developments on that story. Deepak Bopanna, thanks for joining me live with those details on that controversy that has just about started brewing in the state of Karnataka. We have more breaking news coming in. The AIADMK has slammed the Congress for backing TVK chief Vijay. AIADMK's Kovai has said Congress backing Vijay shows their desperation.
Trying to talk about Jananayakan issue and extending support for the Jananayakan's issue clearly indicates us the desperation levels of Congress have risen sharply, and in coming days it might not be a surprise that one faction of Congress blatantly extend their supports for TVK and start campaigning for TVK.
Vijay joining me live on that breaking unexpected lines, the AIADMK hitting out there, Vijay.
That's right. Congress leaders have been posting a series of tweets supporting or backing actor turned politician Vijay's Jananayakan over the censorship issue. All the leaders from Manikam Thakur, Jyothimani and Congress functionary Praveen Chakravarti and even national leader like Girish Jodankar had questioned and condemned the BJP government over the issue. They questioned saying that the BJP is using in line of CBI, IT against the cinema artist, against the freedom of expression also. Now AIADMK spokesperson Kovai Satyan had reacted over that, saying that Congress is desperate in terms of forming alliance with the parties, and even BJP reacted in the same line, saying that the Congress are having internal tussle inside the party, so they are to hide those things. They are raising unnecessary issue, but we have to wait what Congress is yet to react for this comment from the AIADMK. But as of now, only Congress yet to release an official statement from the Congress state unit, but leaders like Manikam Thakur and even other leaders have reacted in support of Jananayakam over the censorship issue.
Point to make out there, Vijay, that an official reaction or statement still awaited from the Congress. I'm going to come back to you in a moment from now. The delay on Jananayakan is going to be a top focus for moments from now. Celebrations have been cut short for Thalapathy Vijay and his fans. The much anticipated movie, widely billed as Vijay's final film, his real swan song, will not release as of now on the 9th of January as scheduled. This comes after the Madras High Court reserved its order on a petition challenging the censor board's decision to withhold the censor certificate. The makers say the release has been delayed, deferred due to unavoidable circumstances, with new dates to be announced soon. Meanwhile, Congress MP Manikam Tagore, like Vijay just pointed out to you, took to X backing Jananayakan, slamming the centre over curbs on cinema, stating Article 19 guarantees free speech, not political clearance. Congress MP Jyothimati has also spoken out, alleging that the censor board has become a political weapon and called the situation an attack on Tamil film industry. Another Congress leader, Praveen Chakravarti, alleged that the centre was insulting Tamil Nadu. Meanwhile, BJP hit back, saying the censor board follows rules strictly and no one can exert pressure on the film certification body.
The day before yesterday and yesterday, we have seen that Mr. Manik Tagor's and Jyotimani's tweet regarding Congress party itself and their alliance. They had a displeasure on the party and also against the alliance. So in order to hide those things, they are trying to write something accusing the CBFC. CBFC has got its own set of procedures, rules, regulations duly followed. So I know how they do it. So there is nobody can pressure anyone. It acts according to the laws framed by the government.
So that's how now the guy who promoted Mr. Modi, the Vivek Oberoi. The Vivek Oberoi who did the Modi on Mr. Modi Saab, where is he today? Do you know where is he? He is in Dubai. He is marketing Dubai today. The great guy who did job of movie on Modi Saab, Vivek Oberoi, today he is in Delhi, he is in Dubai, promoting Dubai. So they want somebody to do that and run away. So if somebody is doing a movie, what's wrong with that? So they want anything, all movies in favor of BJP only, and it has to be propaganda of BJP or the ideology of a BJP or Mr. Modi Saab only, nothing else. So nobody should be shown as hero in this country. And next there are chances that he can become the next Rajinikanth also in South, we don't know.
All right, so what were the arguments in court? This will help to understand why there is a stay on the release of the movie for now. Let's just start with the censor board's claim here. There is no malified intent. Filmmakers hit back. Censor board could have acted sooner given the deadline being the 9th, which was the earliest scheduled date of release. The censor board's claim is changes in film will be made as per law. The filmmakers have hit back saying centre's revision power was struck down by court. Then another argument is something fundamentally wrong has been identified, while the filmmakers say censor board's only contention is over the new complaint. All these reasons are why we're seeing a delay even in the release of this movie. We're expecting that decision most probably to come out tomorrow. Then the censor board goes on to say board chairperson made review decision, not the centre, because that's the allegation being made by the Congress as well, that the centre is behind this delay in the release of the movie when it comes to Vijay's movie Jan Nayagan. And then you have the filmmakers hitting back saying opinion of one board member invalidated, others' opinion, doesn't that matter, is what they are also asking at this point. So those are some of the arguments in court. But let's go back to Vijay and talk to him about this. Many arguments really, but what does the road ahead look like? What are the possible scenarios, Vijay, on the release of the movie of the actor turned politician?
We have to wait for the Madras High Court verdict on January 9th by 10:30 a.m. But there are three possibilities whether the court will go accept the petition from the production house. And then immediately, and then the CBFC has to give the certification immediately. It will take around more than 24 hours. So possibly the release is not on 9th of January. That's what production house also announced, the postpone of release. But however, production house is looking forward to release the movie on a specific date. They are looking for some good dates after that, because they are likely to miss the Pongal dates also, because Pongal holidays is a long weekend. It's a big budget movie, so they are taking efforts to release a movie, but it is unlikely to happen. So they are looking for the other option to release the movie on other big date. But unfortunately, the next is Republic Day. But before that, on January 23, Sun Pictures, the big production house in Tamil Nadu, the Sun Pictures is going to re-release the Mangata actor Ajit Mangata, so which the Sun Pictures will get more theatres. So Jan Nayagan will be on a tough position to capture theatres in terms of releasing the movie in more theatres. So again, there is a hot situation for the Jan Nayagan movie crew. So they're looking for all the options, but all eyes on what would be the verdict from the Madras High Court. Even though if Madras High Court gave permission, accept the petition, the CBFC may go for appeal against go to the division bench. Appeal go to the division bench. So we have to wait and see what would be the verdict tomorrow and how this going forward.
All right. Do stay with me, Vijay, because I also want our viewers to understand it's not the first hurdle for the actor Vijay. Remember, this is his real swan song before he takes politics on 100%. So let's just take you through some of the past hurdles. Let's talk about Sura. That was released in 2010. It was originally titled Sura, the Leader. It faced issues because of the leader tagline. The film was released without any delays. Let's move on now to the next movie that was contentious, which is in 2011, Kavalan, financial dispute after losses due to Sura. The previous movie that I just spoke to you about, it faced alleged pressure from the DMK. Jayalalitha reportedly expedited the film's release. Then we have in the year 2012, Tupaki, turning point in Vijay's career according to critics. It faced protests from Muslim bodies. The movie accused of projecting Muslims in poor light, and therefore there was a controversy over it. Moving to 2013, Thalaiva. Alleged interference from AIADMK and Jayalalitha. Jayalalitha was allegedly unhappy with the title of the movie, which is obvious in its name itself, and the film released after a week's delay. Then in 2014, another movie, Kathiti, protests against the producers Laika. And why would they protest against them? Because pro-Tamil groups protested. Laika being a Sri Lankan company, the film was released with massive police protection. The film also faced story theft allegations. Then the next year, another movie, another controversy, 2015, name of the movie Puli. The film faced financial issues. Distribution pressure on filmmakers was the reason for this to be controversial as well. 2017, you had Marsal, massive criticism after the film's release. Trouble over showing doctors, hospitals in poor light was the reason. Political pressure over dialogues about GST demonetization made the movie get into a hot soup. 2018, the movie Sarkar, issues faced after release of the film. Trouble for criticizing freebies by political parties. Film also faced massive protests. So all in all, the main reason has been, of course, political interference from parties at this point, because of which you've seen the controversies with Vijay's movies in the past. But of course, NDTV will be tracking all the developments when it comes to his real swan song. We're expecting some order tomorrow when it comes to the release of the movie. How long will it be delayed for is the big question. I have some breaking news coming in. NDTV has accessed new CCTV footage of the Delhi demolition that took place about 48 hours back. CCTV footage from the Faiz-e-Ilahi Mosque Chowk at Turkman Gate is what we have accessed. This footage shows the moment when the police chased away the crowd and stone pelters. Some of the stone pelters went to the other side and continued throwing stones at the police force, hiding their faces with masks. The police then approached to apprehend them and they fled. The location of the CCTV footage is on Muhammad Din Ilahi Marg. 6 more have been arrested. The total number now stands at 11. Tejshri is joining me live. She's been tracking all the developments on this story ever since the demolition took place and the stone pelting. Tejshri, tell us why this footage is crucial. We're seeing a lot of masked men as well in this footage.
Absolutely, that's a 3 minutes CCTV footage that NDTV has managed to access, and that is pretty much important because it in fact identifies all those individuals who not just pelted stones but also in fact raised objectionable slogans as well, and also apart from that they started running towards the police. We can also see that they were also holding bricks in their hands, big stones in their hands, and they were pelting those stones and throwing the bricks on the policemen over here. They were present, and we'll also show you the visuals as well that from where this CCTV footage is recorded. This is the lane where we are walking from, the Turkman Gate as well, you can see, and there's heavy police deployment, but those two barricades as you can see, and there's the CCTV installed. If you can zoom in and show RTG, that particular CCTV from where it seems like the footage was taken, and this is a very similar area that we can observe in the CCTV footage as well. And in fact we were also in fact speaking that how these individuals, these stone pelters, were wearing masks to hide their identity. As of now, if we talk about the investigation, that around 10 individuals have been arrested in this case. More than 10 have been detained. More than 50 have been identified. But yes, it is difficult because they were masked. They were wearing black masks. They were also covering their faces with some kind of stoles and shawls as well. We'll be showing you the current scenario so as to what is happening right now. The anti-encroachment drive, yes, it began, but now the closest structure to the religious to this religious structure is now being removed completely. So these were the debris. These debris are being removed now. This is the latest update that we are getting you from Ground Zero. Back to you.
Tejshri, thanks for joining me live. That's the latest video that we have for our viewers. Try and understand why it is critical. We had Tejshri with us to give you more details. An anti-encroachment drive was carried out by the Municipal Corporation of Delhi near the Faiz-e-Ilahi Mosque in Delhi's Ram Leela Maidan. The demolition drive on the land adjoining the mosque and a nearby graveyard, the Turkman Gate, turned violent even as clashes erupted, leading to a few police personnel sustaining injuries. In the latest, the police have identified more than 24 people in connection with the case. As per sources, the SP MP Mohibullah Nadvi, who was present at the site, is expected to join the probe. Videos emerged from the incident which showed the mob throwing bricks and breaking barricades. Remember that 5 persons were detained following the incident. In a statement, the Delhi police said tear gas shells had been used to disperse the crowds, adding that normalcy was restored shortly after the incident. Police also mentioned in a statement that the miscreants would be identified and legal action would be taken after they go through the CCTV footage, ground footage and body camera footage that is being obtained. Remember, we've just shown you scenes of people masked there. It's going to be a challenge for the police, of course, but there have been more arrests, like Tejshri just pointed out.
ये वक्फ बोर्ड भी जानता है और सब लोग जानते हैं कि ये नाजायज़ कोई नहीं है. इसको वो नाजायज़ कह रहे हैं, हम जायज़ कह रहे हैं. तो बगैर उन्होंने हमें या वक्फ बोर्ड को बुलाया, अपने आप से डिसीजन दे दिया कि ये ज़मीन कारपोरेशन की है या LNDO की है या PWD की है या DDA की है. हमको तो पता भी नहीं. हमें उस दिन तक पता ही नहीं था कि कोई केस हमारे खिलाफ रेड पिटिशन भी दायर, और रेड पिटिशन का जो हम रिव्यू दिया है या हम रिक्वेस्ट किए उनसे स्टे की, उसी जज के पास जाना था. उसको ऑलरेडी माइंड सेट है. तो अब जो उसने हमको 22 तारीख में नए कागजात जमा कराने के लिए, नई पेशी पे बहस करने के लिए हमको टाइम दिया है, तो उस वक्त तक तो कारपोरेशन को रुकना चाहिए था. कारपोरेशन कहती है हमारे पास, हम तो आज ही तोड़ेंगे. और ये 5 मिनट के अंदर खेल हो गया. जो पैरामिलिट्री है, पैरामिलिट्री के आते ही मैं उससे पहले रिक्वेस्ट करके गया हूँ पब्लिक से, पब्लिक चली गई है. उसके बाद में जब एक हमारे MP साहब आए मोहिबुल्ला, उनको रोका गया पैरामिलिट्री की तरफ से, तो हंगामा ये हुआ है.
Slip into a short break. I'll be back with an NDTV exclusive in moments from now. What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
Mumbai are bringing our first India tour in your city. Rag on with Shankar Ehsan Loy and Siddharth Mahadevan and Shivam Mahadevan. 5 times melody, 5 times masti with NDTV Good Times. Go grab your tickets on Live Your City by Fever.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Master Stroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Master Stroke Art Awards. An odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
Honoring the masters who define our creative landscape. Coming soon on the NDTV network.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your Automate.
Delhi set the fairway on fire. The precision, the edge, the contest, the electric energy. Now, the NDTV PGTI Golf Pro-Am travels to Hyderabad, a day crafted for an unmatched experience. NDTV PGTI Golf Pro-Am, the course of champions, the conversation of leaders. 10th January 2026, Boulders Hills Golf and Country Club. Every winter, the World Economic Forum at Davos becomes the world's thinking room, where power, policy and purpose converge, where the future is examined and reimagined. In January 2026, NDTV will be at the heart of this conversation. NDTV Ignite at Davos, this January on the NDTV network.
Other opposition parties. They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. Stop. This isn't a
This afternoon, we're taking a closer look at what appears to be a decisive shift in how the United States of America is projecting power on the world stage. From military action in Venezuela to renewed U.S. interest in Greenland, to the seizure of Russian and Venezuelan oil tankers at sea, and even a selective easing and tightening of sanctions on Moscow, the Trump administration seems to be advancing a foreign policy driven less by norms and more by national interest. Supporters argue this marks the end of costly forever wars. Critics warn it's rewriting the rules of sovereignty, trade and the use of force, setting precedents that rivals like Russia and China could soon exploit. To help us unpack what this means, I'm now joined by Dr. Nicholas Redman, Director of Analysis and Editor-in-Chief at Oxford Analytica. Nicholas, thanks for joining us this afternoon here on Breaking Ground. Dr. Nicholas, I want to ask you first up, looking at Venezuela, looking at Greenland, the tanker seizures and sanctions together, are we seeing a new US doctrine taking shape?
I think that's exactly the question to ask. It's also a period of real volatility and fluidity right now, and things might look different in a few weeks, but I think we have to draw a line between the world before January 3rd and the world after it. Before January 3rd, we knew that this was an administration that was very skeptical about international law, international organizations, rules, cooperation. We saw that with the departure from the COP15 treaty on climate, and had quite a skeptical view of alliances, not alliances per se, but how alliances were practiced. The idea that actually alliances needed to be rebalanced in order to favor the United States. And this America First doctrine is one that is basically a zero-sum view of the world. And so if US interests are favored more, then other countries are going to have to lose out more. So all that was very clear running up to January 3rd. But what has happened on January 3rd is a shake to one of the other assumptions we had, which is that Donald Trump was very wary about using military force. He came into office promising, as you noted, an end for forever wars. He only used military force very selectively and in a limited way in Iran, and then drew a line underneath it. But what we're seeing now is a rather different approach to international wars. A president that said that tariff wars were easy to win, preferred to use economic coercion, now seems to be a new convert to the utility of military force.
So then, Dr. Redman, is this doctrine, would you best describe it as transactional power taking precedence over rules and values at this point?
Yes, I think that's very clear. If there are rules and values in place, they're US ones, not universal ones. You actually saw that in the justification for Nicolas Maduro's removal. It was about US law and US interests. Those were the ones that were advanced as the justification.
And Venezuela's oil and Greenland's minerals are resources now openly driving US foreign policy. Would you agree? And if you do, why?
So the administration has made it very clear that access to minerals is going to be vital to US economic security. If you look at Venezuela, it wasn't only about the minerals. Remember that this military buildup started really in August of last year. And the narrative varied somewhat across, but drugs were a very big part of it, not necessarily because Venezuela is a huge player in the drugs trade, but because the United States administration wished to signal that this was not going to be a business as usual approach to the drug challenge the United States faces. So drugs was part of it, migration was part of it, both in terms of people coming into the United States, but the possibility of repatriating the many, many Venezuelans that moved to the United States over the last 20 years. And then there was that broader question about the Western Hemisphere, the insistence the United States has on dominating that, on removing rival powers, building up the ranks of its own partners in the region and thinning out the ranks of its rivals. So there were multiple reasons behind Venezuela. The president personally really fixed on oil. That's why we're hearing a lot more about it now. But there were other interests in play. And it's not simply a case that the United States is only interested in resources.
Interesting. So would you say then that under the Trump regime, the US is shifting from democracy promotion to asset protection?
Well, I think it's very clear that democracy promotion isn't part of the mix. If you go back and read the National Security Strategy, which was released in December last year, its most scathing criticism is actually for previous administrations and the fact that they were woolly-headed in promoting universal values, acting in the world in order to actually advance interests other than American interests. So of all of the interests that we were talking about, all the potential reasons for engagement in Venezuela, the one that we did not hear at the Mar-a-Lago press conference on January 3rd was democracy promotion. There was the only mention of Maria Corina Machado was she's probably not got what it takes to become the president of Venezuela. And the man the United States recognized as the winner of the July 2024 election, Edmundo Gonzalez, didn't even merit a mention.
You know, Dr. Edmund, I want to move to the big picture now. Was Venezuela, according to you, truly a limited operation or a model for future action?
Well, I think potentially it is both. It was a limited operation in that there wasn't an attempt to seize territory. There wasn't an attempt to remove the entire government of Venezuela. So the military limitation, the military exposure was actually quite limited. As Donald Trump said, we're not afraid of boots on the ground, but actually it was only a few dozen boots on the ground and only for a few hours. So the United States did not expose itself in the way it exposed itself in Iraq. But I think that is precisely the point. The administration has learned the lessons from Iraq, and the lessons are don't go in and occupy a country because that takes huge amounts of blood and treasure and have massive risk. If you look at what they're trying to do in Venezuela, it is not regime change, it is regime co-optation. By removing Maduro, they're trying then not to replace the regime, not to install democracy, but to work with this government so that it's the responsibility of Delcy Rodriguez, not the United States, in order to run Venezuela, to keep Venezuela secure, to feed Venezuela's people.
Dr. Redmond, I was reading a few articles where I did realize that in Trump's first regime, the media had mocked all his comments on Greenland. But now after Venezuela, should US interests in Greenland be taken far more seriously?
Well, I don't need to offer an opinion. You've just got to look at the European reaction. They take it in deadly earnest right now. European allies are terrified about the prospect of the United States making some sort of move on Greenland. And Secretary of State Rubio said that next week he actually intends to talk to the Danish government about buying Greenland.
So is the Arctic now becoming perhaps a strategic battleground rather than a cooperative space then?
I think that's been the case actually for a while. This is not something that you can put squarely at the door of the Trump administration. China has shown a great interest in the Arctic, although it is not an Arctic power. It calls itself a near-Arctic power, and it has made strenuous efforts to assert a presence there. Russia also, as an incumbent Arctic power, very interested in developing the area as the Northern Sea route opens up more. It's made some military investments there already. So it's not only one power, it's not only the United States here. I think as the Arctic opens up, as it becomes more possible, and now that we have, the zeitgeist is partly around access to minerals now, right? This becomes very important. And the Arctic's mineral riches, as well as its strategic advantages, I think almost inevitably, in a situation of international competition, not cooperation, is one of those regions that is very vulnerable to being securitized and to being militarized.
Right. Now, we've just spoken, I did refer to the tanker seizures. I want to understand from you, do tanker seizures mark a shift from sanctions enforcement to coercive force?
What I find strange or unusual, what challenges my assumptions about the tanker seizure is the circumstances around it. So this was a vessel that attempted to break the US imposed quarantine on shipping of Venezuelan oil, but did not do so. It was not attempting to do so. It was sailing the other way. It was actually seized much closer to Britain than to Venezuela when finally it happened. And it did so despite the fact that it had been reflagged as a Russian vessel, which technically meant that it legally meant that it was under Russian sovereign protection. And despite the fact that there was a Russian naval escort and the fact that Russia had requested specifically of the United States that it desist from chasing this vessel. So what that tells me is more about Trump's risk appetite, which actually, it says to me, is greater today than it was a week ago. And it was greater than when the Venezuela operation was being planned.
Interesting.
Remember, the Armada in Venezuela was assembled over many months. There was a massive military overmatch. Venezuela is militarily weak. It has few allies. Its distant supporters are half a world away. But to take on a Russian tanker that was really under Russian naval protection, that is a much more risky endeavor.
Absolutely.
That has a higher upside risk, much less easy to plan. And so that, for me, is the most sort of interesting thing out of this. In a way, it's probably a signal that the United States is in deadly earnest about its domination of the Western Hemisphere.
Which leads me to my next... Yes, go ahead.
But it also has broader questions about what this says about US resolve and changes in the US approach to the utility of the use of force.
Which brings me to my next question, Dr. Redmond, which is, would you say selective tightening and easing of Russian sanctions show leverage now matters more than rules?
Well, the sanctions are partly about enforcing certain international laws. I think it's worth underscoring that point. The United States has long used sanctions. It's been a leading proponent of them. The question is what Donald Trump wishes to do with Vladimir Putin. We know that he wants a peace in Ukraine. We know that he's been very frustrated that Putin hasn't really played along. I think one of the interesting questions that we have out of this, and all we have right now is questions, we have very few answers, is whether Donald Trump actually is going to show Putin that he is prepared to use military force, and whether that changes Putin's calculus about whether he can play the long game in Ukraine, string out the negotiations, but just wait till the day that through diplomacy he can get everything that he believes he can achieve militarily on a 2 to 3 year horizon.
This brings me to a very important question. This is one question that I had asked myself yesterday, Dr. Redmond. If Russia or China copied these tactics, could the US credibly object, Doctor?
Well, there's credible objection is what people are actually going to do. And what not is more is what people are going to do. I think the reading that we have out of the last 24 hours, and I think, let me just add this caveat. This is a really fluid situation. And 3 weeks from now, the utility of force in Venezuela might not look quite as impressive as it does today, because it depends on what the political consequences of this are. I'm not convinced yet that what was done with Nicolas Maduro is actually going to be sufficient in order to change Venezuelan government policy in ways that the United States really likes. It might be that further military action is yet needed. But nevertheless, we're in a moment where it looks like military action is a silver bullet that can solve all sorts of problems. So if that is the case, then what I think the United States is signaling is we have our sphere of influence, but that we reserve for ourselves the right to act in other parts of the world on the basis of our interests.
Right.
So I'm not sure that it actually does mean that any other power can do whatever it wants, because it still has to reckon with the United States. And if we're thinking about China and Taiwan,
yes,
the national security strategy drew a very, very thick red line around Taiwan.
But then wouldn't you say, Dr. Redmond, in a way the US has lowered the global threshold for using force? It can't be that the US has one approach while it expects another approach from the rest of the world.
Exactly. All states can really do is mind their own behavior, but they cannot determine what precedents are set or how other states respond and interpret that. I think right now there will be responses and reactions, but at the moment, the response, I suspect, from most of the world is one of shock and of hesitation, perhaps a slow building anger. But right now, the United States looks like the sort of power that you really do not want to mess with.
But Dr. Redmond, has Donald Trump really thought this through in the long term is my question. Doesn't this weaken Washington's case against countries like Russia and China?
So the argument is that it's no longer about international law, but it is about a balance of power between states, and the United States is the most powerful state in the world. That, if you read the national security strategy, I encourage everyone to do it. That's what it says. It says we're not really in a world of laws, norms, rules, institutions. We're in a world where great powers are the ones that make the weather.
But doesn't this doctrine then deter rivals, does it? Or invite escalation is the question?
Well, it seeks to deter rivals, but what the longer term consequences of this might be, we don't know. And I would just come back to an earlier point. Right now, it looks like the United States is newly enamored of the use of military force and feels quite free to do so. But if the consequences of this show that this initial assessment that it is very successful, it has very low cost, if that assessment changes, then future behavior is going to change.
I have two more questions for you before I let you go, Dr. Redmond. Is this approach stabilizing the global order or making it more volatile? I think this is the question of the hour, sir.
Well, if we think the global order is partly about rules, norms of behavior, and that larger countries accept some limitations on what they do, no.
All right, but waking up to Trump 2.0 every morning here in India, we're seeing so many new headlines, some shocking us, some surprising us. How much of this global order has been impacted by Trump 2.0 is the question.
Well, on climate, we've already seen a massive change because one of the world's largest and most wealthy countries is no longer part of that. There might be other. We know that the WTO is dead as a dispute resolution mechanism because the United States has no wish to participate in it. So we've already had some changes on those spheres. The only thing I would caution is it's really not clear yet what Trump's base thinks about some of these military adventures. And the midterms are coming, but it might be that actually it's domestic restraints that have more strength here, more currency than the external ones, certainly more than the normative ones that you just referred to in terms of international law, rules, norms, expectations of behavior.
I believe I have a minute left, so my last question to you, and I promise this will be my last question to you, is can Trump really justify this as all being done under national interest?
Well, this is exactly the justification he's making. Although if we go back to the Mar-a-Lago press conference, he also says that Venezuela is going to be governed in ways that will actually suit the Venezuelan people as well. America first and Venezuela first too. So in terms of the narrative, it is also that other boats can be floated in addition to the United States one. But it underscores also that operation was very heavily couched as a domestic security operation, a law enforcement operation, not an out-and-out exercise of military power. And I think that speaks to some of the domestic constraints and the domestic sensitivities that ultimately might be the real limiter on what the United States does in the near future.
Dr. Nicholas Redmond, thank you for joining me here on Breaking Ground and for that analysis. What's clear from our conversation is that this moment goes far beyond any one country, touching energy security, territorial ambition, economic coercion, and the rules governing the use of force. Whether this new US doctrine restores American leverage or reshapes the global order is far more unpredictable in many ways. It's a question that the world is grappling with at this point. Thank you for your time this afternoon. All right, we're going to move on now to another story, and this is yet another exclusive here on NDTV. NDTV has spoken with the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, and there are some big statements that have been made by her. Hasina has condemned Dipu Das's killing, calling it a barbaric act, asserting that there's total collapse of law and order under Yunus's government. She slammed the Yunus government for orchestrating violence in Bangladesh in the name of religion. Sheikh Hasina noted that Dhaka's manufactured narrative linking Hadi's case with India serves only to radicalize public discourse and undermine decades of trust between the two countries, India and Bangladesh. All right, that's a wrap on Breaking Ground. Up next is Southern View. We'll get you all the latest from all the stories down south and other news coming up in moments from now. Stay tuned to NDTV 24/7.
The nerve center of the maximum city, the BMC, a contest that will shape Mumbai's next decade, its identity, its legacy, its future. NDTV brings you the battle for Mumbai, asking who will hold the keys to India's richest civic body and what would it mean for Mumbaikars. BMC Power Play, only on the NDTV network.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad साहब, ऐसे मत कीजिए. Suddenly, people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do.
And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude,
We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship.
the line of control, Shiv Arur, NDTV.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
Mumbai are bringing our first India tour in your city. Rag on with Shankar Ehsan Loy and Siddharth Mahadevan and Shivam Mahadevan. 5 times melody, 5 times masti with NDTV Good Times. Go grab your tickets on Live Your City by Fever.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Master Stroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Master Stroke Art Awards. An odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
Honoring the masters who define our creative landscape. Coming soon on the NDTV network.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions.
Expert advice. The latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your Automate.
Delhi set the fairway on fire. The precision, the edge, the contest, the electric energy. Now, the NDTV PGTI Golf Pro Am travels to Hyderabad, a day crafted for an unmatched experience. NDTV PGTI Golf Pro-Am, the course of champions, the conversation of leaders. 10th January 2026, Boulders Hills Golf and Country Club. Every winter, the World Economic Forum at Davos becomes the world's thinking room, where power, policy and purpose converge, where the future is examined and reimagined. In January 2026, NDTV will be at the heart of this conversation.
Hello and a warm welcome to the Southern View. I'm Sam Daniel from Chennai. Over the next 20 minutes, all my colleagues from South India will join me to bring you all the new updates from the southern part of India, including my colleague Vijay from Chennai, Deepak Bopanna from Bengaluru, and Ashwin from Thiruvananthapuram. There's a breaking story in Tamil Nadu. Over to Vijay for that. Vijay.
Sam, Thank you, Sam. DMK had reacted over Jananayagan issue. You know, DMK spokesperson TK Ilangovan speaking to NDTV mentioned that BJP is using censor board to pressure Vijay ahead of 2026 election. TK Ilangovan pointed out saying that BJP is known for using CBI, IT, ED against the opposition ruled states, against the opposition parties across India. Now they are using censorship board against Vijay, actor turned politician. He also said this is not a new issue. He also avoided to answer in detail for why DMK top leaders are silent over the issue. He said even in past, like the then Chief Minister Kalange Karunanidhi's pinned Parashakti faced a similar issue. Even MGR and Annadurai faced a similar issue in cinema in terms of getting certification from the censorship board. So this is not a new issue as far as issue is concerned. But however, he blamed the BJP government on center is trying to pressurize Vijay ahead of 2026 election. He also reacted to how Congress leader with a series of posters on Twitter backed TVK chief Vijay in terms of they also criticized BJP-led central government, saying that BJP is using censorship board to against the freedom of expression. They are using this against the freedom of expression. They are targeting Vijay ahead of 2026 election. So this raises many speculation why Congress leader from Manikam Thakur, Jyoti Mani, and even a Congress functionary Praveen Chakravarti suddenly come up with in a support of TVK chief Vijay, because you know Tamil Nadu Congress Committee chief Selva Pirandage or any other leaders from Tamil Nadu Congress are silent over the issue. There is no official statement from Tamil Nadu Congress over the Jananayagan issue, but some section of Congress leaders like I mentioned Manikam Thakur, Jyoti Mani and Praveen Chakravarti had reacted over this, and even other leader, national leader who is in charge for Tamil Nadu also reacted over this. So now this is getting interesting, but DMK says the alliance between the Congress and DMK is very intact. And moving on to the other story, you know, Jananayagan is very struggling to get the censorship from the censorship board. They are facing legal hurdles, and the case is just before the Madras High Court. All eyes on Madras High Court. What would be the verdict? Whether the film will get released by this week before Pongal holidays, because we got a statement from production house saying that they are postponing the release without mentioning the date. Very soon they are also taking efforts to release the movie before the Pongal holidays, but all eyes on now what would be the verdict from the Madras High Court. We have lined up many reactions from the AIADMK, BJP and other parties. Let's listen to the reaction first over the Jananayagan issue.
So that's how now the guy who promoted Mr. Modi, the Vivek Oberoi. The Vivek Oberoi who did the Modi on Mr. Modi Saab, where is he today? Do you know where is he? He is in Dubai. He is marketing Dubai today. The great guy who did job of movie on Modi Saab, Vivek Oberoi, today he is in Delhi, he is in Dubai, promoting Dubai. So they want somebody to do that and run away. So if somebody is doing a movie, what's wrong with that? So they want anything, all movies in favor of BJP only, and it has to be propaganda of BJP or the ideology of a BJP or Mr. Modi Saab only, nothing else. So nobody should be shown as hero in this country. And next next there are chances that he can become the next Rajinikanth also in South. We don't know.
Trying to talk about Jananayakan issue and extending support for the Jananayakan's issue clearly indicates us the desperation levels of Congress have risen sharply, and in coming days it might not be a surprise that one faction of Congress blatantly extend their supports for TVK and start campaigning for TVK.
The day before yesterday and yesterday, we have seen that Mr. Manik Tagor's and Jyoti Mani's tweet regarding Congress party itself and their alliance. They had a displeasure on the party and also against the alliance. So in order to hide those things, they are trying to write something accusing the CBFC. CBFC has got its own set of procedures, rules, regulations duly followed. So I know how they do it. So there is nobody can pressure anyone. It acts according to the laws framed by the government.
So here Congress and DMK blames BJP-led central government, saying that they are using CBFC against the Vijay as he is into the politics, and they are pressuring the Vijay. But whereas ADMK and BJP says Congress is like facing internal tussle over choosing the alliance partner, so they are using this Vijay as to bargain more seats from DMK. All eyes on what would be the verdict, and more developments on the story is there. We will continue tracking the story. And moving on to other package from, this is not new for Tamil Nadu politics, as Vijay entered as a completing his film industry, is now into politics from MGR and Jayalalitha and even Kalaignar Karunanidhi, who entered the politics after playing a role on cinema. Even Deputy Chief Minister Udayanidhi Stalin himself was an actor then, now he has become a Deputy Chief Minister and politician. So let's listen to a package how cinema plays a role in Tamil Nadu politics.
To the Secretariat has been not just common but politically decisive. Here, cinema has never been mere entertainment. It has been a powerful political tool shaping ideology, leadership and electoral outcomes for nearly a century. The roots of this cinema politics bond lie in the Dravidian movement of the early 20th century. Leaders like C.N. Annadurai recognized cinema's unmatched reach. Writing screenplays and dialogues, Annadurai and later M. Karunanidhi embedded ideas of rationalism, self-respect and social justice into popular films. Parasakti, released in 1952, became a cultural milestone. Cinema as political messaging. But it was M.G. Ramachandran, MGR, who turned cinematic popularity into mass political power. On screen, he played the righteous defender of the poor. Off screen, voters believed he would govern the same way. From the DMK to founding the AIA-DMK, MGR proved that star power, when backed by organization and ideology, could win elections and redefine Tamil Nadu politics. Following MGR, J. Jayalalitha emerged as another towering figure. Strong-willed roles on screen translated into an image of authority in public life. Despite facing gender bias and political challenges, she went on to become one of Tamil Nadu's most influential chief ministers and remains the only actor to truly